players, announcers, developers, and most importantly, the fans all want to see the return of NCAA football. But now, an executive source at EA Sports is stating they know the game will be back. Smash that like button if you want to see NCAA football's return. Let's get it. Welcome back, sports gamers. It's The Natural. EA's portion of the Ed O'Bannon case is over. As we reported, athletes have received their checks, yet months later, almost 2 weeks into the 2016 college football season, we're still without a college football game. For now, the 2016 season will pass without a college football game, even though there are people looking to change that, such as IMV Gaming, who recently launched their Kickstarter this week in their quest to bring back NCAA football. I will include a link in the description for those interested to check it out. Now, in the past, we've talked about several notable figures and their thoughts on NCAA football franchise. Todd Howard spoke at the 2016 DICE Summit about how he'd love to get his hands on another college football game, saying that the game's absence left a hole in his life. Now, another industry luminary is weighing in on the subject, and this time, it's someone a bit more close to the topic at hand, EA's own Peter Moore. In an interview with IGN for IGN Unfiltered, Moore spoke for nearly an hour and a half discussing many topics. During the interview, Moore fielded questions about his work at Sega and Xbox to his current home at EA, where he now serves as the Chief Competition Officer. One of the most interesting parts of the interview comes with Peter Moore delved to the subject of NCAA football, where he says this. Check it out.
NCAA Football was a series that was so well regarded.
Absolutely.
A lot of people thought it was actually a better game than Madden, with no disrespect to Madden. That was all because of the lawsuit, right?
Yeah, I mean, and settlements are still going out, so it's tough to really get into a lot of detail. But yeah, I think that what happened is that NCAA football became the lightning rod for bigger issues regarding college athletes getting paid for their performance in not only football, but all college sports, and their likeness. And it was a sad day when we realized we are in the sights of a number of lawsuits. A number of athletes, which were all combined eventually into one singular suit, had said, "That's me." And
the O'Bannon suit, that was.
O'Bannon, Keller, there was a number. So, and it was a sad day. But when your lawyer's fees are more than the revenue that you can expect to get in, and you just in the end had to say, we can move this dev team to do something else that we can have a very clear future that we know. Think of dev cycles. They're not just like we start and then we finish in the same year. They're 2-3 years out.
Sure.
It was an unclear future for us, and so we unfortunately, and it was a really sad day, I had to say, we just can't do this anymore. And one day I know we'll be back. But yeah, and that was a sad day. And we moved teams, and nobody lost their job over it, but because we had great talent there in the Orlando studio.
Yeah, Madden, and then of course
plenty of other stuff.
Tiger Woods
was still going on there. So you can move people around, and but it was a sad day. You're right. It was a really, really good game, and what I loved about it, it captured Saturday afternoons all over America. Because not only did we have a great on-the-field experience, we took a lot of time to go to just about every one of the 132 FBS schools and capture the mascots and the environment around those stadiums, and really brought that to life, and unfortunately had to step away.
So there you have it. Peter Moore, Chief Competition Officer at EA Sports, loved the franchise and seemed to take great pride in the work the team was doing on the game, praising the work that went into creating an authentic experience. So not only is he a fan of NCAA football, and he misses the franchise as much as the rest of us, as he stated in an interview, he doesn't think it will be back. He knows it will be back. Now that sounds like a vote of confidence if it ever was one. So it may be a while before we see the franchise again, but if Peter Moore feels that strongly about the return of NCAA football, it's safe to say we'll definitely see that happening. So be sure to turn those notifications on and subscribe to Sports Gamers Online for all of your NCAA news. This is The Natural. I'm out. Welcome back, sports gamers. It's The Natural, and if you've been following our latest NCAA updates and news, you will know athletes are finally starting to receive their checks from EA as part of the settlement reached in the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit. EA settled with the players, and now the money has been paid out, even though the case versus NCAA continues. Being a part of the sports as well as sports gaming community, I'm ecstatic to say we've been able to get our hands on one of the checks sent out by EA to the players in this settlement. As you can see here, right on the screen, we actually have a check in our hands, and I have here on the screen for you guys. It reads, "Dear class member, enclosed, please find a check in the amount of $242.96. This check represents your combined settlement payment for both NCAA and EA video game likeness settlements. Please cash the check as soon as possible and no later than July 5th, 2016. You will no longer be able to cash the check after that date, and a new one will not be issued to you after that date. Your payment is